coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all it. Shout out to everybody out there. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pam, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Bam, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, boom. We out here, man. 33 years of prison stories, man. Can't stop, won't stop. There is no limits. We breaking the chains, man. We not confined no more. We gonna keep pushing this positive energy no matter what. No matter where we gotta do it at, no matter when it's coming, we gonna keep pushing it, man. This train gonna keep on rolling. As long as y'all supporting, it's very important. We gonna keep on moving, man. So big love to everybody who's still standing with me, man. This too shall pass. You understand? So right now, man, make sure you subscribe to Pure Deliciousness. This is where I will be posting content until the situation is over. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's keep this train rolling, man. Big love on the back end of this video, but right now we're gonna talk about situation. I don't think I talked about this situation since I've been on YouTube, but this was a crazy situation that I went through. I think I only went through it like once or twice doing my bit, but this is like the first one, and it was real crazy. It was a prison blackout. A prison blackout. Do you understand what a prison blackout is? Well, let me explain. A prison blackout is when all of the power on the institution is gone. It's gone. I mean, we have no lights. They have no way of controlling the doors, opening and closing the doors. We in complete darkness at nighttime. Only time we got light is in the daytime. And I've experienced this, you know, and I can remember the first time I experienced it, it was crazy. You know, the police, the COs, they ain't coming around because they scared, especially at nighttime. They may come through in the daytime and they're going to come in a couple of groups. You know, they ain't going to come by themselves like they usually do, making rounds. They're going to come in a group setting, 2, 3, 4 of them, because it's, you know, it's chaotic. So when I'm saying that the doors don't work, you got to understand, you can't, there's no lockup. So we actually out at all times. Or you could just pull your door and your door will open because the system is not working. So there's no way that they can lock the doors. The system is not working. You can open your door, close your door, come in, go out whenever you want to. Now, just imagine no supervision, and this is what's going on. So it was a lot of things going on, man. I mean, okay, dudes that's beefing with each other, dudes that don't like each other, dudes that's trying to get at each other. Now, this is your opportunity. You understand? Dudes that got that Bethlehem on them, they ain't worrying about hiding it. They keeping it on them at all times because there ain't nobody coming in here to shake you down. Ain't nobody coming in here to run down on you. So this is like one of the most dangerous times in the penitentiary because you actually are, you know, you always on your own in penitentiary. But when something like this going on, you like on your own. Because you know there's no help coming. You understand? There's no help coming. Man, listen, when these lights went out, I was like, man, what's going on? And normally in prison, when the lights or something like that go out, a generator would come on and it would put everything back in place in probably about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Everything will be back in place. This didn't happen this time. It's like everything gone. The power is gone. The generator is gone. Everything is gone. It's like a blackout. So we ended up being like this for 3 days. 3 days you can come in and out of your cell, do what you want to do. They bringing food. They scared to come in the block. They serving the food through the salad port. You got to come through the salad port to pick up your bag. You getting a bag breakfast, a bag lunch, a bag dinner. You got to come to the salad port to pick it up. They not coming in there. So you're talking about 80-some people in each block that's moving around with no supervision, on their own free will, being able to do what they want to do, do to whoever they want to do to, whatever they want to do. So it was just crazy. It was chaotic, man. And at the time, I was like young when this first occurred. So I wasn't really tripping. I didn't really understand the significance of it. I didn't really understand the danger of it. At the time, I already felt like I was dangerous, so I wasn't feeling like nobody was gonna come at me or try to do anything to me. But I was prepared. You know what I'm saying? I stayed ready. I was already ready. But man, it was crazy. I mean, dudes was getting crushed. Dudes was getting beat up. Dudes was getting assaulted, man. Dudes was getting robbed. Dudes was getting taken advantage of. It was just crazy, chaotic for 3 whole days with nobody to come to save you. Nobody to come. Man, we was out in the block at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Dudes playing music all morning. They were scared to put a female in the booth. They had a dude in the booth at all times. They put a female in the booth. Dudes was going straight, do whatever they wanted to do with her. The gunning would have been in full effect. I mean, it was like at that time in my bit, it was like something I had never seen before. Something I had never experienced before. So it was like more or less like you out on the block on the street, but you just can't go nowhere. You just trapped in your block. And that's how it was in the penitentiary. Man, everybody was playing music. Dudes was smoking weed. Dudes was making wine, drinking wine. It was just pure chaotic. It was crazy. You could just wake up at any time and bust the door open and walk out your cell. This had never happened because you always locked in. You always got to do the count. This, that, and the third. They was coming around to do the count, which was crazy when dudes had to stand in front of your cell. You had to stand in front of your cell because your door couldn't lock. So they coming around to do the count. Normally when they come to do the count, it's 2 people. They coming around to do the count now, they got 4 and 5 people because they nervous, purpose, because they don't know what's going to happen. Some dudes won't getting up standing for count. Some dudes won't coming out standing in front of their cell. They just wanted you to stand in front of your cell so they can do the count. The count don't stop. The count got to go on. They got to take that information and be able to send it to CCB, Central Control Base. They have to. That's mandatory in the penitentiary no matter where you at. Those counts have to be turned in because you have to be accounted for in that penitentiary in case somebody escaped, in case somebody did this, that, or the third. So those things are mandatory. But other than that, you won't see them until they bought that food or they came around to do count. Other than that, you was on your own. You on your own. Dudes is staying in other dudes' cells. Dudes and put dudes out of their cell. Dudes and took their mattress and threw it over on the floor. You got dudes out in the pod, sleeping on the pod floor. Man, it was chaos. It was crazy. It's like, I don't like my celly. I ain't never like my celly. So now this going on. So, hey, man, yo, you got to get up out here. What? Yeah, you got to go. And dudes was going because they ain't want that ruckus. They ain't want that beef. So dudes was taking dudes and putting them out their cell. You had 8 to 10 to 12 dudes sleeping out in the pod on the floor. They had their mattresses out on the floor with their blankets and their sheet and their property sitting beside them on the floor. So when officers coming around the counter, like, what are you doing out here? What is your mattress doing on the floor? They're like, man, I mean, lights and nothing. I can't see in the cell. But all the time they got put out. They just too scared to tell because if they tell, then they done already crossed the code. You already been deemed as a sucker because you done let somebody put you out your cell. Now you don't want to be deemed as a snitch as well. That's double jeopardy. So they had to just sit out there in the block, man, and sleep on the floor. And I'm saying to myself, man, what is going on around here? Man, it was crazy. It was pure chaos, man. And a lot of dudes was getting high. They were smoking weed because dudes already had weed in the block. Man, it ain't like we could leave the block. We couldn't leave the block in the daytime, nighttime, or nothing. You just stuck in your block wherever you at because no doors or no nothing was being operated. When they came to open the side door to feed us, they had to use a key. You know what I'm saying? Because the computer or whatever you call it was not working. So they had to use a key. So they won't coming in unless they use that key, and they open that key only to serve us our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only to come in and do the count. Other than that, the door stayed locked. You couldn't go nowhere. So dudes that was getting hurt in the block and it was getting beat up and was getting assaulted, they had no recourse. Nothing. The phones weren't working. You couldn't call nobody. You couldn't do anything, man. You are literally on your own, more or less like they say, on an island by yourself. If you didn't have your will to live, your self-defense tactics, your, if you didn't have that, man, that was it. That was it, man. And then other dudes depending on, oh, this is my homeboy, don't nobody mess with him, so ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Nah, that wasn't the case, because it was every man for himself when we on this blackout. And like I say, this joint lasted 3 whole days. When it was over, they came in full forces then, because they could control the doors, they could control the narrative, they could control what was going on. But before then, they couldn't do anything, and it was just us. You know what I'm saying? I seen dudes that got bust up, beat up. Man, dudes them beat their sellers up. Dudes them beat dudes up. They was beefing with dudes, was taking their mattress and pulling it right by the side door and sleeping by the side door or where the shower was, hoping that when the COs come, they'll take them out and take them to medical. Some of them got took out and took the medical. Some of them didn't. Some of them had to lay there and suffer and be scared and wondering if the same dude that assaulted them was going to come back and mess with them again. You see what I'm saying? So it was just it was insane to me, man. And the crazy part about it is, looking back on it now, I was so young, naive, and egotistical that I didn't even feel the danger. I didn't even feel it. I felt like it was like, man, oh man, we could do what we want to do. You know, for a minute, you know what I'm saying? That's how you felt. Coming out 2 in the morning, just walking down to another dude's cell, talking to him. They drinking, they smoking, they playing music. I can remember at the time, Wu-Tang had just started, and I didn't know who Wu-Tang was. Pedo was telling me who Wu-Tang was. They had Wu-Tang just bumping. Pedo and Shakim, they was telling me all about Wu-Tang, and I'm like, man, who is these people? Oh man, these a new rap group, man. It's the biggest rap group ever, man. Yeah, they from out of New York, and yeah, man, they 5%ers, cause both of them were 5%ers, so they was hipping me the game. You know what I'm saying? So we out here like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning listening to Wu-Tang bumping all over the block. Dudes is walking around in their pajamas. Dudes walking around in their boxers. Dudes smoking cigarettes. Dudes smoking weed. Dudes drinking wine. Dudes walking around with the Bethlehem tucked up. It reminded me of being back in the wall. I'm like, man, it was crazy. It was just insane, man. And I mean, dudes was scared to talk then. They were scared to raise their voice. They were scared to act like they had a grit on their face, because now it was won't nobody to save you. So any move you made, if a dude really wanted to address it, he gonna address it. Any issues you had before the blackout, dudes was pulling up on dudes. Hey yo, man, hey, you owed me $5, man, for like 2 months, man. You playing games. I mean, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Boom. Hey man, no, I want interest on that now. I need 30. For $5, yeah, I need 30. You know what I'm saying? Get it now. And got the Bethlehem in his hand. So, man, it was just chaos. I remember, man, I'm just sitting around and I'm looking, man, and I'm like, man, this is wild. And I was, and the crazy part about it, in my mind, I was wishing like penitentiary was like this all the time, where we ain't even had to deal with the COs. You know what I'm saying? We just dealt with each other. So it was a new experience for me, man. But it was a wild experience, man. And like I say, I remember when I seen these 2 dudes that I always thought got along. I always thought they was cool. They was sellers, but now they was beef. No, you get out. No, you get out. And I'm like, boom. And me and Pito, we on the block, and we sitting in there and we looking, and we like, oh man, they beefing, and they sellers, but they beefing. And then the next thing you know, you heard, and they rumbling up in that joint. And they rumbling in the cell, but you don't supposed to go look in the cell. So we just out there, we on the tier, we listening, and we can hear this. And we trying to say who winning and who ain't winning. And next thing you know, they stumble all out in the block, and they rumbling. And man, dudes just got the lock in the sock, and he clucking them, and dude got a little poker. I wouldn't even call it the Bethlehem, it was so small, and he hitting them, and they fighting, and they rumbling all there in the tier. And then one of them got hit, the one that got the poker, he done hit him, but he got the lock in the sock, so he running, because that poker be hurt. That poker drawing blood, and he be hurt, so he running, he chasing them all around the block. Man, they talking trash to each other. Everybody in the block is looking. The dude in the booth, he looking. He can't do nothing. He can call a code, but ain't nobody coming in the door because it's too many people out. They can't control the narrative when you got that many people. You know, so reality was coming to me at that time too. It's like boom, they handle us with control, they handle us with power, they handle us with authority. But in actuality, if everybody was on the same page, then they couldn't handle the situation at all. This is one block. You talking about 80 something people that they can't control, and we talking about a compound that got over 1,500, and this is one block. See, the way they control you is control movement. When they got everybody locked up, if they got two dudes fighting, they say, everybody lock up, everybody lock up. Everybody got to go to their cell. These dudes are still fighting, but they don't move until everybody in their cell. When everybody in their cell, that's when they move, because that's when they got numbers. But if everybody is out, they don't know who going to respond to this situation, so they got to pause. They got to hold up. So when they doing that, your life is in danger. If you the one that's in battle and somebody got a weapon, your life is in danger, because they're not going to put their life in danger to save you. All of these things was being revealed to me right in real time, but I wasn't processing it all right then and there. Later on, years later, I was like, man, I remember that happened. This, and I was able to put it together. But at the time that this stuff is happening, it's just like entertainment at the time, because we laughing. We like, man, what? Oh, man, he running. Oh, he running. Oh, he got him. Oh, he tripped. Oh, and he tripped and he fall. And Steph comes, he get up and he swing and lock at him and back up. And dude is holding on because he can't get. It's like we watching this in real time. And then at the end of the day, he got knots on his head for getting hit with the lock in the sock. He got holes in him. He bleeding, and ain't nobody getting no medical attention. Ain't nobody getting no medical attention. And you got the dude in the booth that's sitting here seeing this. And then you got the COs that come to the side door and they look in and trying to see what's going on and hollering and blowing a whistle, but they not coming in to help, or they not coming in to stop the situation. So it's like, man, it will make you feel, and you got to think, I'm in my business. I'm well under 10 years, probably within 6, 7 years. So I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, this is my life. This is how I gotta live. This is what's going on. And I'm sitting up here with 2 life sentences, 100 and some years. I'm like, man, this is insane. So when you factor all these things in, this is what shape your philosophy for how you do your bit. Because you this is at the beginning. This is when you're learning that, man, this type of life right here is different. It's different from anything I ever known. It's different from anything I ever experienced, anything I ever been through. So you start to get that savage mentality in your brain. You either gonna get one or two. You gonna get a savage mentality where you got the will to survive, or you gonna get the, man, I'm scared to death, or you gonna get the, I'm suicidal, man, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? And some people go through all of them stages before they settle in on, look, this is how I gotta do it. This is what it is. You know, and yeah, man, it was chaotic to me, man. But at the time, man, I was so green, so full of testosterone, so, you know, just, you know, with the will to live, man, I couldn't see all of this. I couldn't see it. If it won't direct it straight at me, it was like it didn't even affect me. It was like just something for me to see, just like looking like, man, that's crazy. But at the time, I wasn't thinking like, man, this could be me. You know, I wasn't even thinking like that, because I'm thinking like, ain't nobody gonna mess with me, because I already knew in my mind what I was willing to do, what I was gonna do. So I'm assuming that everybody else know that, but that wasn't even the case. That everybody else knew that. That was just my ego. You know, that was just my ego saying that I'm willing for. Yeah, okay, come on with it. But man, it was just crazy to me, man. It was a crazy scene. Man, when they bought the food, dudes was taking dudes' food. The white boys, man, I kind of like feel sorry for them, man. Some of them jokers, if they didn't have commissary, they won't be eating at all. Dudes was taking their trays, taking their, what is it, the trays, it was bags. Man, they bring the bag lunch. They wait as soon as they the police, man, let me get that. Snatching their bag lunch from them, snatching their dinner, snatching their breakfast, taking their food. If they ain't had food in their cell, if they couldn't survive for 3 days, they was out back. You know, and I know it's not funny. I'm just reflecting on it, because you have big dudes in there, man. You got dudes 200, 300, 400 pounds. Them dudes got to eat, and you bringing them a bologna sandwich, or orange, and some celery, and a little carton of juice, or a little carton of milk, or a little carton of apple juice. Man, dudes can't survive off of that, weighing that type of weight that they wearing, and they taking dudes' food. And dudes ain't doing nothing about it because they scared, because they know ain't nobody gonna come help them. So if they get in a confrontation, it's win, lose, or draw. No help coming. Nobody coming to save you. A lot of dudes will fight knowing that the police gonna come and save you, just so they can say I fought and I'm not scared. But it's a whole different scenario when you looking at it and you saying, ain't nobody gonna come to save me. So what if I lose? How bad am I gonna lose? Am I gonna lose my life? And dudes will just defer, to be taken advantage of, to give up whatever somebody trying to take from food, commissary, money, whatever. You know, man, dudes was taking dudes jewelry, tennis shoes, TVs, and telling them when it's over, if you go tell, this gonna happen to you. That's gonna happen to you. Dudes lost everything during a 3-day blackout. A 3-day blackout, they lost everything. You know what I'm saying? Because they was too scared to fight back. You know, too scared to fight back because they couldn't suffer the consequences because it was no help coming. It was no help coming. You know, so yeah, man, this is one of them wild times of my being, and it was early too. So I'm like, man, this was like some the wall type stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is like Mecklenburg type stuff that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy to me, man. It was just crazy. I'm like, man. So in my mind, this is how penitentiary is, because by this time I had seen so much. I had been to the wall. I had been to Mecklenburg. You know, so these was the beginnings of my bit. Early in my bit, I had been to Augusta. So to see this and to experience this, man, it was like, yeah, you know, no matter where you go, something gonna break out. Something gonna be, you know, chaotic. Something gonna be crazy. Something gonna be where you let's locked in. So this is the way I started thinking, and this shaped the way that I did my bit, man, because I seen a lot, and I seen a lot early. And I don't know if that was good or bad, but now looking back on it, I think it was good, because I think it prepared me for whatever may come in the penitentiary. As the years and the decades rolled off, I think it prepared me, you know, because I had seen it all. I had seen riots already. I had seen people lose their life already. I had seen people get stabbed. I had seen people get brutalized. I had seen people getting taken advantage of. I had seen all of that before I even got to this point. So, you know, yeah, man, but this is prison life, man. This is what's going on up in there, man. All types of things, and at any moment you need to know in the penitentiary that the police is not gonna save you, man. And I said that from day one that I started telling these stories. They're not gonna save you, man. And you are on your own in the penitentiary, so you need to know this, man. While you out here on the street and you free and you have free will and you have, you know, understanding of what the penitentiary is like. So before you put yourself at risk, man, to risk your freedom, you need to understand what you're risking it for and what type of life you're going to be living. And I'm telling you right now, it's probably worse in prison now because of the gangs and because of the new system, the way it is. Everything evolves, everything changes over, man, in the penitentiary. And right now in the Virginia penal system, man, it's gang related, you know, and them dudes is gonna put that press on you, and you not gonna go in there unscathed without putting in no work. You gonna have to put in some work, or you gonna end up being worked on, and then that's real, you know. So yeah, man. But yeah, I remember the blackout, man. I remember that blackout, man. And you gotta understand this too. That also means you got to go to sleep without your door being locked. So somebody can come in your cell at any time. They can just pull the door open, run down on you. You know what I'm saying? So dudes was sleep deprived. Dudes was scared to go to sleep. Dudes was tying stuff on their door to lock their door at night to make sure couldn't nobody come in. Dudes was setting up little traps so if their door opened to make some noise to wake them up. All of that was going on because all of that was reality. All of that was a possibility. You see what I'm saying? And no matter who you was, you weren't exempt because dudes could church up. Oh yeah, we ain't like him anyway. Let's go get him. Won't nobody gonna come do nothing about it but you. You was the only one that was gonna be able to defend yourself, and whoever rolled with you. So yeah, crazy, man, crazy times, man, crazy times. But anyway, I wanted to drop that story on y'all, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the story. Please, please, I'm asking you to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to this channel as well. And make sure you support the other channel because we need to keep the algorithm up even if you got to go watch some old videos to keep the algorithm going. And let's get to that 100K while we in this little timeout right now. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everybody who support me. I appreciate everybody who rock with this movement. I'm going to be here as long as y'all be here, man. So big love to y'all. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. And by all means, duck them hooks. Bang, boom, boom, bang, 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 bang. And duck them crooks, man. Because we know they out there. It's skullduggery 24/7 out here in the free world. And I thought I ducked all the skullduggery when I left prison. Nah, it's out here too. Peace. Big love. We out here. Salute.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in